Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Haters called out Michael Jordan for a $58 million mistake, but boy, were they wrong about Terry Rozay. Back in the summer of 2019, the Charlotte Hornets were part of a sign and trade deal with the Boston Celtics that swapped Kembawalker for longtime backup point guard Terry Rozay. It felt like a lopsided deal at the time, but it seems like Michael Jordan and his staff was one step ahead of everyone. So far this season, Rozay is averaging a career-high 21 points, 50% from the field, and 46% from deep. Before their last game against the Utah Jazz, he had put up 30-plus points in each of his last 4 contests and does whatever it takes to win on a nightly basis. Hornets head coach James Borrego knows that Rozay has been a major contributor for his squad this season. He's been fantastic. His will throughout games and fourth quarters just keep us alive, and to actually throw in daggers to help us win games is tremendous on his part, but he's been fantastic, Borrego said. Celtics general manager Danny Ainge has made a handful of successful trades over the past decade, like trading away Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett for draft picks that turned into Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Trading away Rozay for Walker seemed like it would have been a no-brainer for Boston, but Walker has not produced at an elite level so far in his stint as a Celtic. Injuries have played a major part in Walker's production or lack thereof, but maybe he just does not fit in Boston and their young dynamic duo. On the other hand, Rozay has been the Hornets' most consistent offensive threat since the trade went down. Walker had more pressure to step up and be that third option for his team, but Rozay has capitalized on the opportunity to try and change the culture of a franchise that has struggled to remain relevant. So basically, let's see. Hold on, there's more here. Terry Rozay has been hot throughout the season. The career highs across the board are impressive, and he's shown he can step up big in crunch time down the stretch. If he can continue this hot streak, it might not be such a far-fetched idea for Rozay to be listed as in reserve. I don't believe he was. I got to check that out. Guys like Levine and Young are having outstanding seasons. Rozay could be a third guard to slide in as a reserve. I don't think he made it. I think that was a snub too. Let me see. Let me see if he made it or not. Let's see. The reserves in the East. Yeah, he didn't make it. Rozay was another guy who I felt was snubbed. He was another guy who was snubbed. Now, let's see. The Charlotte, I'm about to say Toronto. The Charlotte Hornets are basically in 10th place. They're basically in the play-in, which they're going to have, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We're going to have a play-in tournament. You've been bums all season, so now they want to have a playoff tournament. And they're only doing that to try to, I guess, grab ratings, but the ratings in the toilet. The reason it's in the toilet, they keep watching that guy out in LA, the guy from guy named LeBrownies Blames. And you noticed last night when Schroeder came, you see how the team ran sets and how they actually look like an offense because Schroeder can play the point. LeBrownies can't run no damn point guard. So for all you guys keep telling me, man, the hate is real. Nobody's hating him. It's the truth. The guy has a limited game and his IQ is below average. Now, back to somebody who's actually got balls and heart. Terry Rozay. Terry Rozay. Terry Rozay. Terry been balling, man. Terry has been the unquestionable leader of this team. He is his team. I don't want to hear that. Oh, LaMelo Ball ain't got nothing this guy got. This guy is a Negro. He is all black. He's black, man. He black. He make Tar jealous. Tar walk by like, God damn, that nigga Terry black. He black. Remember Lethal? I don't know if y'all remember Lethal Weapon. I think it was Lethal Weapon 2. Danny Glover was talking about, I want to go back to Africa. And the dude was like, but you're black. You're black. That's Terry Rozay. That nigga is black. And he's balling. And to me, I didn't have Charlotte making the playoffs. I don't have them making the playoffs. I think the Knicks and the Heat and Boston and the way it's looking, I think the Pacers could take it. The Hawks have been a disappointment. I think Collins and Trae Young aren't getting along. My Magic suck because we don't have a floor general, a guy who can close as well. Fultz could do that for us. He could close as well as get the team going in the right direction. And the Cavs basically fell off because of they're trying to trade Drummond. So it's kind of causing some things with the team. The Wizards, I think the Wizards could mess around and get into the playoffs because they're playing fairly okay. I think the second half of the season they'll be a lot better. But back to Terry Rozay, man. Terry has been playing awesome. Now, who's the better player, him or Kemba? I love Terry Rozay, but to me, I would say Terry's a guy who can play without the ball in his hand. Kemba to me is more effective with the ball in his hand and the ability to score. To me, if Kemba was your number one option, Kemba would be having big games and, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But also, Kemba Walker has been dealing with a lot of injuries. And he's playing in a system that is mainly moving the ball around. And then when Tatum gets the ball, Tatum does his ISO thing, tries to do a fadeaway or crazy shots, and I don't know why. And Jaylen Brown is basically their inside presence, and then he could go outside. He's their slasher, and he's a solid number two. But Kemba to me has had trouble playing that three. To me, Kemba Kemba could play a lot better if they had him as the one and they had Tatum as the three, but they don't have. Kemba's never really been to me a alpha dog type of player. He's mostly been a beta masquerading as an alpha. I never seen him with I'm going to lead this team here and there. To me, he's never been a strong leader. To me, Terry shows a lot more alpha and more intangibles to me than Kemba. Now, Kemba's made some big shots. Don't get that wrong. Kemba's made some big shots, and he did lead his UConn team to the national title game and did win. So I can't take that from him, but I just think Terry is more of a leader, more of a this is what's gonna happen, and his will is on the team. You could tell that's his team. He done had a dunk on KD, a dunk on everybody. He dunked on KD. That thing was vicious. Ooh, that was vicious, dog. So to me, it's like, did Michael win the trade? I think he did in the long run. In the long run, I believe in the long run, I think he'll be a lot more effective than Kemba Walker. That's just to me and everything. And I think Kimba's trying his best. To me, I think Brad Stevens isn't a great coach. I think Brad Stevens is very overrated. I think he doesn't know how to use his personnel. I think he's more of a system guy. Him and Popovich are the same. It's like I gotta throw these guys. These guys fit my system. This is how it's going to run. But the only reason Popovich is a little better, Popovich understands his personnel a little better than Brad does. I think Brad thinks, oh, this is the system. This is how the system works, and we're going to run it like this, which is mostly move the ball around and hit whoever's open from the three, which is a dumb system to me. To me, if Brad Stevens would move his playbook up, which is to the inside and to the mid range, I think the Celtics would be a lot better. And then at the end, I agree with Carcino for Life. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Carcino for Life. And his Screen Fiend One Crack, and get on his Patreon, man. I'm a member of his Patreon, $25 VIP, man. It is popping over there. He continues to bring us nothing but the heat. I agree with him too, because it is leadership down the stretch. But to me, it's leadership, but at the same time, I felt like they should have kept Kyrie and they should have traded either Tatum or Brown or things like that, or promised him they would trade him or something, because Kyrie to me is what they're missing. They're missing that guy to close the game, that guy who can handle the pressure, and they don't have it. Marcus Smart is a great leader, and I think with him out of the lineup, it shows you how valuable Marcus Smart is. Marcus Smart is needed, and that's what you see right now is if Marcus Smart is back, I think the Celtics will be fine. But to me, Kemba is more of a number one or two option. He's not a traditional point guard. He's not going to get you those high assists you need. He's not going to be that dominant guy. And plus, we got to remember, it takes a while for some people to get back in the rhythm after they got hurt. And I think they won last night, I believe, against the Pacers. I didn't get to watch that game. That game didn't record on my channel, but from what I was seeing down the stretch, they were playing a little better. But to me, the Celtics has to figure out who's going to be that guy. But the deal paid off for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has a lethal team. This team, if he keeps LaMelo and Terry, if he can keep both of them pieces together, and Devontae Graham, I think this team will be fine in the next 3 years. I think they're not going to make the playoffs this year, but definitely next year they'll make the playoffs. And then after that, we'll see what goes on. They might help Mike out by giving him a chip, like letting him win a chip for once, so he can have that on his resume. And I'm glad he didn't sign Kemba to that big deal, because to me it would have hurt them. Kemba's okay, but Kemba to me is not that guy to lead your team over the top. I think Terry Rozier could. I think Rozay gets a bad rap because him and Kyrie were bumping heads. Kyrie's better, but right now, man, Terry is having a phenomenal season. He should have made the All-Star reserve team. Him and Trae Young or Sabonis, but I would have put Sabonis in. Let me see. I would have put Sabonis in for Vucevic. I would have put Trae Young in for Ben Simmons, and I would have put Terry Rozier in over Zach LaVine. I would have done that. I'm sorry, Mr. Sledge. I know you like Zach LaVine, but I would have replaced him with Rozier, or I would have replaced him with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has not had a good year to me. Jaylen Brown has been outperforming him. Like, Jaylen Brown looks better than him to me. People may argue, but that's how I feel. And out west, the reserves, Chris Paul shouldn't even be on there. It should be Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram should be on there. And I know Devin Booker made it because AD, I believe, is not playing. So, yeah, so yeah, is ugly. PG should be on there. He's been having a phenomenal season, but yeah, that just goes to show you. But Terry Rozier, man, he's been playing good. But to me, I wouldn't blame everything on Kemba. Not I think Kemba should be the number one option. Brown should be two, and Tatum should be three. That's just me personally. And then I think Kemba would do better. Kemba's a better fit with those guys than Terry was. Because Terry would be too busy trying to take over too much and trying to lay his will down. Terry's on the perfect team to show what he is. And then they got Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is decent. So it all works out at the end. Let me know in the comment section, man. Do you believe Michael Jordan won this sign and trade deal by getting Terry Rozay over K Walker, aka K Skywalker? Do you believe he won that trade? And do you believe Terry is better than Kemba, or do you believe Kemba's better than Terry? And let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Do you believe Charlotte can make the playoffs this year, or do you believe they'll be much more fitted for next year? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for listening, and we are out. Daisy.